Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of this weekly alts analysis series where we take some of the most popular altcoins in the market and show you how to identify key levels of higher time frame supports and resistances so that you can then use to either dollar cost average in and or enter some longer term swing trades. So as you know, we went through 5 altcoins previously: AVAX, DOT, Sol, VeChain and Matic. And last week we went through a review of what those weekly and monthly levels did for us in terms of potential longer term swing trades and dollar cost average entries, etc. We're now going to move on to another set of altcoins because we've had our bounce and it looks like we're going to go for another leg down. So this set we're going to focus on high market cap coins, and so we're going to start with the most obvious one, which is Ethereum, and as always we're going to go through the USDT and BTC pairs, but first we'll take a quick look at BTC as we always do. So on the monthly time frame, yesterday's monthly close confirmed what we pretty much already knew was a guarantee, was that the 29k monthly level was going to be lost to support. As I said, pretty obvious. If we go down to the weekly though, it gets a bit more interesting. We're still clinging on to this 19k weekly support, which we've just retested yesterday, I believe. So still holding the support for now. But I think if we lose that, we're probably looking at 16k next, which is this level from back in Jan 2018, as you can see. That for me is where we're probably going to go next if we lose 19k. If we take a quick look at the daily as well, as we can see, clear downtrend, we rolled over, pretty pathetic looking rally to be honest, from the lows on the 18th of June. So we went for 17.5k, topped out around 20, just short of 22k, as you see, rolling over. We had big volatility over the last 24 hours. Was it like 13%, about 12.5%. From the bottom of yesterday's wick to the top of the early hours of this morning, but as you can see, it looks like a bit of a stop hunt, and things coming down quite hard now, and probably going into the weekend we're probably going to see a bit more red. We'll see whether these lows back from the 18th and 19th of June get taken out and potentially see that 16k level. But that's BTC. Let's move on to Ethereum. So as always, we start on the highest time frame, which is the monthly. And we're going to let that do most of the work for us before we get down to the weekly. So first area of support for me is the one we're currently in right now, which is the get rid of our magnet tool, get our box just there. So top of these candles here from Jan 18, and we're going to pull that across literally to where we are right now, I think. On last month's candle close, I should say, and we'll drag it out to, I think May 23 was where we've been dragging them out to, just there. Happy days. We'll just drag that out a little bit further as well, if I can get it. That'll do. Happy days, and we'll give that the monthly tag. Moving on to the next one, I think down here at these candle bodies, candle body closes from April and May 2018, and come across and we can see these candle body closes as well. So let's go grab that. That looks like a pretty solid level to me, as I say, taking into account these two candle body closes. And then looking a little bit further down, we can see a pretty clear level here from the bottom of these candle bodies from September, October, November 2017 to the top of these candles in June, July 19, and then again I think we get a little touch here from September 20. So let's go ahead and grab those like so. Drag it out. So yeah, as I say, just touching those candle body bottoms there. Yeah, that looks pretty spot on to me. I'm just going to have to make these all level though for my OCD. Come on. Happy days. And then finally, I think just a bottom level down here. Very, very unlikely we get down there, but who knows, right? So we'll just mark it out anyway. So we'll just catch the bottom of these candle bodies. And I think just there will do. So we're just catching the top of these candle bodies here from December 18, Jan 19, Feb 19, and then the bottom of these candle bodies here in December and November 19, and also March and April 2020. And we'll just make sure they're all tagged up monthly, and monthly. Happy days, everything in a nice straight line, how we like it. And yeah, that's the monthly. So let's take a look at the weekly, see if there's anything to add. And as you can see, as always, once you do the highest time frame, when you work your way down, most of the work is already done for you. You can see these levels acting really nicely, even on the weekly time frame. And to be honest, I don't think there's that much to add. I think potentially here, in fact, that's a really good level. So we can see these candle wicks down here from all of Jan 18, and then these candle body tops at Feb 18 as well, coming across, and we've got these wicks here from Jan 21 and also from 2 weeks ago in June. So let's go ahead and grab those. I think we'll go just there. Yeah, I think that's it. As I say, just touching the top of those candle bodies, catching all the wicks. Yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. Just make it tad longer, give it the weekly tag, and there you go. It looks like a pretty good area to me. And then finally, I think I'll just add another one in here between these two monthly levels of around 750 and 350, so something in here. And immediately my eyes are drawn to these candle body tops here. In fact, we go even further back. So these candle wicks in November 17, coming across candle bodies at July 18, and then the wicks as well in July 18 too. And then if you look further across, we've got this big wick here on August 2020, a couple of wicks here in November 2020, and we just touch it again in November again. So let's go and add that, drag it across. I think, as I say, we'll just catch the top of those wicks. So just catch the top of this wick here from August 2020, and this bottom wick here and November 2020. Just make it a little bit longer. Happy days. Yep, and then just give it the weekly tag. And there you go, guys. That is my higher time frame levels for Ethereum. As you can see, pretty neat, pretty well respected all around. And yeah, my levels of interest for Ethereum, should we see lower prices, which looks very likely indeed. Let's move on then to ETH BTC. So a slightly different chart. Let's start with where we are currently. So I think immediately my eyes are drawn to these candle bodies here from November and December 2017. And as we look across, we can see these wicks from Jan, February 19 and also Jan and February 21. And it looks like that's where we're heading as well in this current downtrend. So let's go ahead and mark those out. So as I say, those candle bodies here from November, December 17, dragging it across to May 23. Yeah, perfect. Just on the top of these candle body closes here, catches that wick, catches these two wicks here. That's pretty spot on in my opinion. Let's go monthly, and there you go. And you can see that's a really solid previous support and resistance, and it looks like that's the next target for ETH BTC. Moving on to the next one, I'm probably looking at these candle body closes here from March 16 to June 16. And yeah, I mean, there's loads of wicks and candle bodies, so that looks pretty solid to me. So let's go ahead and grab that over to May 23. Yeah, that looks solid there. Just make sure we've caught all these wicks. So as we can see, candle bodies closes that I mentioned, March to June 2016. We've got this big wick here from December 2017, wick from September 18, another wick, and candle body closures from November, October, November, December 18, again in May 19, June 19, then it's resistance at Feb, March, April, May, June 2020, and then come back, use as support in December 20 and Jan 21. So pretty solid level there. I've gone a little bit too far on that side. That'll do. And then finally, I think one down here from this August, September 2019 bottom. And you can see these wicks here as well from 2016. So let's go ahead and grab those. So I'm going to start from that very bottom wick from 2016. I'm going to come up and grab the candle bodies from 2019. Going to make that a little bit wider as well. And going to make that a little bit neater. And boom, yeah, I think that's pretty spot on. So let's go and make those boxes monthlies and happy days. Yeah, so for me personally, I think we're definitely heading towards this range of 0.043 to 0.04 BTC. Where we go from there, we'll obviously have to wait and see. But if we lose that, then I think we are going to head down to this next box, 0.027 to 0.025, call it. But let's go ahead and take a look at the weekly time frame, see what else we can add. And as you can see, the work is pretty much done for us. What would I add here? So as you can see, we've just lost a pretty key level, which I'm going to mark out here. So if we look across, we've got these wicks from July and August 21, and also back in October, and we've just retested it as resistance. So if we go ahead and mark that out, you can see that just there. I think just there, pretty much spot on. Mark that out as a weekly, drag it out. Happy days. So yeah, as you can see, clear support back in the summer of 2021. We've just lost it, come back for a bearish retest. So even more reason as to why I think we are going to head down to this 0.043 range very soon. In terms of any more weekly supports, I think there's going to be something around here. I think, yeah. So I'm starting to see a lot of these candle wicks here line up with some candle wicks just here and some candle bodies too. So it probably, in fact, lines up quite nicely with the top of this candle here in February and March 16. So let's go ahead and mark that out. So catch the very top of that. That's it. Capture all those candle body wicks, or candle wicks I should say, not candle body wicks, and just drag that out. Yeah, that looks pretty spot on. So as I say, top of this March and March 2016, you got these wicks down here from April 17. We've also got candle body tops September 18, and also here lots of wicks and candle bodies in and around Feb 19 as well, and then even more in August 2020, and finally the most recent in March and April 2021. So I think that's a pretty decent weekly level as well, in between the two monthly levels. Could even make that slightly bigger, just to catch the very bottom of this wick here, April 21, and that looks pretty spot on to me. And that's probably all I'd add without it, getting too congested. It's a pretty big chart, but yeah, that's what the levels I'd be looking at for ETH BTC. So yeah, use that how you wish. So that's ETH USDT and ETH BTC. As we've said many times on this series, it doesn't take very long, and it can be very effective as well. So just be cautious. Obviously, being in a bear market, things can drop a lot lower than you expect. So don't go all in on a level thinking it's the bottom. Dollar cost average in, and be ready to cut ties with it should a level be lost, and then look to accumulate on the next level down. And also, if you're looking at swing trades, take those profits once you see it heading into resistance. You don't have to sell the full bag, maybe just a percentage, but definitely try and take those profits as often as possible in a bear market to survive. As I say, the next altcoins will be all higher market caps, we've got ideas on what we want to do. However, if you've got any suggestions or requests, just drop them in the comment section below and we will get around to them. But hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys, and we will join you next week for another episode. So have a good weekend, have a good week, and we'll catch you next Friday.